In Bogota, Colombia, in a posh neighborhood on the north side of town, a decision was made to kill a man in Miami. Colombian authorities suspect the assassination was ordered by one of Bogota's biggest cocaine dealers, who lives in this house protected by armed bodyguards. To the unsuspecting, Veronica Vargas might look more like a kindly school teacher than an international narcotics dealer. But police say her appearance masks a deadly shrewdness and power that enables her to command a murder 1,500 miles away. The victim was Horacio Martinez, who was shot to death in a parking garage near the Miami airport as he climbed from his wheelchair to his Mercedes-Benz. Martinez was a Colombian drug dealer who apparently angered Veronica Vargas and paid with his life, dying with 12 machine gun bullets in his body. Such killings are happening with regularity now as wealthy Colombian drug dealers brazenly shoot it out on the streets of Miami, usually to avenge drug rip-offs, to save face, to steal, to silence informants, or to give notice that in the Colombian drug business, you will be punished brutally for your mistakes. Beleaguered South Florida law enforcers say the Colombian assassins don't seem to care if there are innocent victims, as they bring to Miami a type of violence it has never seen before. Multiple murders in nice neighborhoods and shootouts in broad daylight, on highways, in shopping centers, restaurants, and airports.
There are people that have a very low opinion or no regard whatsoever for the value of human life.
They seem to have been able to put together almost a psychopathic organization.
These people out here are crazy. They're flat crazy.
We got plenty of room out here in South Florida for people to be dumping bodies, and they're taking advantage of it in canals, in the lake, in the bay, on the road, wherever.
Toda la marihuana que sale de aquí de la...
Police have discovered there is often a link between Miami homicides and drug dealers in Colombia, who have created a multi-billion-dollar business supplying the United States with 80% of its marijuana, 50% of its cocaine, and 90% of its illicit Quaalude tablets. The strongest link is found between Miami and Medellin, Colombia, where it is common to have up to 12 killings a day. When 6 people were killed last December here in a South Dade County townhouse, the Medellin newspapers knew all about the victims, days before American law enforcers identified them.
There is a direct connection between the criminals that operate in Medellin and the same Colombian criminals in Miami. We have noticed that criminals who have committed a crime in Medellin are very soon in Miami.
In Medellin, there was a large cocaine organization headed by Griselda Blanco, a flamboyant woman nicknamed by the Colombian newspapers La Madrina, or Godmother. Police say Griselda Blanco began years ago as a bank robber, then entered the drug trade, working and killing her way to the top. She is suspected of up to 15 murders and now is in hiding.
She is considered a very dangerous woman. Information that we have claims that she will pull the trigger herself if given the chance.
Police suspect in November 1980, during morning rush hour traffic near a Miami airport hotel, the Godmother's assassins killed a woman named Graciela Gomez. Informants say Gomez had stolen some cocaine and had a romantic fling with the Godmother's lover, both fatal mistakes. As Gomez drove in her Corvette, shots were fired from a passing car. The shots missed. Gomez ran from her car and dove in the back seat of another, driven by a middle-aged man and wife. As the astonished couple watched in horror, the assassin walked up to their passenger window, pushed them aside, and fired point-blank into the back seat, where Graciela Gomez died. The couple, meantime, scrambled from the car to escape physical harm, but there was an emotional toll.
The wife came very close. She even felt the gun to the back of her head. She came very close to death. That's not the kind of thing that you expect at 7:30 in the morning to have to deal with.
The most well-known shootout occurred in July of 1979 at Miami's busy Dadeland Mall shopping center. At 2:30 in the afternoon, several Colombian assassins fired machine guns and other weapons from an armored van into a liquor store, killing narcotics dealer Herman Jimenez and his bodyguard. Also wounded were the store clerk and a stock boy as the assassins sprayed the crowded parking lot with bullets. No one was ever convicted, but police suspect this is the man who ordered the shootout. He is Miguel Sepulveda, known as Paco. Paco Sepulveda heads a cocaine group in Medellin, Colombia, that is aligned with Griselda Blanco. Although he is a fugitive from a New York drug charge, Sepulveda has never been arrested in the United States, despite frequent trips here and allegations he has committed several murders.
The master of this guise
We have approximately 10 photographs of Paco Sepulveda, and in each one of them, he appears completely different.
As police begin to study these shootouts, they are seeing a pattern. Many of the killings and killers are related. For example, police believe the Dadeland shootout was simply Paco Sepulveda's payback for another incident here on the Florida Turnpike. 3 months before Dadeland, 2 carloads of Colombian traffickers got into a high-speed machine gun shootout here. Cars had to pull off the road to get out of the way. Even a police car was shot at. When police finally stopped one of the 2 cars, they looked in the trunk and found a body, handcuffed and strangled to death. Police believe the victim, Jaime Suscon, was ordered killed by Herman Jimenez, the man who died at Dadeland. It appears Suscon had stolen some cocaine from Jimenez and had strangled his maid. So the police theory is Jimenez is ripped off and Suscon is killed in revenge. Then Jimenez is killed at Dadeland, probably by Suscon's supporters, answering the Paco Sepulveda. For the police in South Florida, it is a confusing, frightening, and frustrating problem as the Colombian traffickers carry out their deadly feuds. Very rarely do witnesses come forward, for they are too afraid. Usually, the killers are illegal aliens with phony passports and driver's licenses. At times, it is even impossible to identify the victims.
You can have anywhere from 10 to 15 aliases that you will be operating under.
This is something totally new, what we're dealing with, and I think nobody yet has any idea of exactly how to deal with it.
Another problem is if the law enforcers do figure out who committed the crime, the assassin is unlikely to remain in Miami. Many times he is right back here in Colombia, perhaps hours after the shooting, having flown out of the United States commercially under another assumed name. But what scares police more than anything is, unlike other crime groups, the Colombians will shoot family members and will fire into crowded places. Near the Miami Stadium, a 3-year-old boy was shot and paralyzed when assassins killed his father. A 14-year-old girl was murdered. At high noon, a Colombian cocaine dealer was shot in a crowded pizza parlor after the killers ordered lunch. Another was shot at the airport customs facility by a man on a motorcycle. A third was murdered leaving a crowded department store. Another suspected victim of Griselda Blanco and Paco Sepulveda.
You know, it's not something that the citizen really needs to think, well, I'm really very safe. No, they're not really that safe.
But as bad as it is in Miami, police in Colombia say we haven't seen anything yet. In Colombia, the traffickers kill the police, the judges, and the politicians as the dope business grows. That story tomorrow. On Wednesday, a look at the Colombian point of view. Officials there say they work harder than the Americans to solve the drug problem, but are hampered by the U.S. demand for narcotics.
Okay, out of the car. Let's see your hands. Come on, let's move.
On Thursday, the American police problem, as they face violent foreign criminals.
Hey, you! Hey, get over here!
And on Friday, we asked, what will it take to put this behind us, and what happens if we fail?
I can see the time coming where we'll have another Dadeland situation where half a dozen innocent bystanders will be killed or seriously injured.
It's terrific. The drug smugglers hope they never change the laws. They hope that the budgets keep getting cut, and they hope that, like the DEA budget, I think, got cut this year. Well, that's terrific. Drug smugglers got it made.
Mark Potter, Newswatch 10.